Hi, Chelfie Views. It's your girl Jessica here. We're here with another beautiful day with Darya Temeemi. So y'all know how Chelfie Views works. We talk about culture, we talk about art, we talk about fashion. Today we're talking about more about activism than we are about art. This is, as I said before, Darya Temeemi, a really good friend of mine. We've known each other since 6th grade. And she's an activist, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that and how that factors into her style and who she is. So let's get started. So Darya, what does activism mean to you?
To me, activism is something that it's when you find something that you're really passionate about, a certain issue, and I think a lot of times it can really affect us personally, and we take it to a point, and it almost affects us to the point where you just can't sit back and watch anymore. You know, you have to do something about it. That I got to that point. I think it was around junior year of high school. I just really got to this point where I was like, I can't take it anymore. Enough is enough. And I think that's that epiphany that an activist has, and that's what eventually creates the urge to pursue activism, a social issue that you're extremely passionate about, that you feel like you can change eventually in your lifetime. And everyone can change what, I don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone can, if you just put your mind to it, it is very easy to achieve, and it's just, you just have to have your goal and have your passion, and that's what activism is.
Awesome. So,
in my opinion.
So my next question was, why are you an activist? But I think you explained some of that. But you can explain a little bit more.
So I'm an activist because, like I said, eventually I got to a point where I just couldn't take anymore I'm from the Middle East and what's happening there and all the issues that are occurring there and all of the violence, and it's enough is enough. I'm from Iraq, and my dad is from Iraq, my mom is from Turkey, and from my dad's side, he's just hearing his stories and what he's had to go through. It broke my heart, and what he's had to go through here in this country and the struggles he's been through, and seeing how people have treated him, it just made me sick. I just couldn't take it anymore, and I was like, I need to do something. I can't just sit around and watch my dad suffer, watch my family suffer. I have family still living in Baghdad and what they've seen and been through. I wanted to bring awareness of that to the United States.
Awesome. So do you find that you know, my next question was also, how does where you're from affect you being an activist? But you're like always 2 steps ahead of me.
Sorry.
So no.
I'm elaborating.
That's good. So that was activism. Now let's move on to some fashion stuff.
Yes.
So you said before you're Turkish and Iraqi.
Yes.
And so how do you feel that blends into your personal style?
So I feel like there is a stigma in the media that, you know, it's like they don't ever really express our culture. They just more show women and men that are they only show like how they don't incorporate like modern style. Like they only show like people that are, you know, like for example, like I have family in Saudi Arabia, and like, you know, they don't really wear like jewelry and stuff. It's more of like everyday fashion. I want to sort of incorporate my fashion into like bring out culture in my jewelry and everything, because I'm more modern, so I'm sort of caught in between, you know, like I'm kind of caught in between like Western.
Because you're American, but you're also,
when I go, I mean, I dress differently. I wear like tight dresses, and in my culture, like that's not necessarily, it's hard to, you shouldn't, it's just like I've been to Kuwait, I have family in Kuwait, and it's just, I can't really wear this kind of dress there, and like not to sort of perpetuate a stigma, but that's just the truth. Like I couldn't, and that's just the truth. Unfortunately, I'm sure people will get upset about that, but I've been like, I know I can't, and I love my family in Kuwait and everything, and everyone can incorporate whatever fashion they want, but you have to do it sort of modestly, because that's our culture, you know. And there's nothing. I'm sure Americans are not used to that. They think that that's backwards or something. It's just our culture, you know. It's just how it is, and so I want to sort of incorporate my Western, like, because I grew up in America. I was born in DC, and I grew up here, and I just like want to incorporate, you know, Western fashion with also Eastern, you know. So I want to incorporate both. I want to show that yes, cultural infusion can happen. It doesn't have to just be one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, like it really doesn't. I think a lot of people think it's just one or the other. And I think that I really give praise to the South Asian community, actually. They do a really good job at incorporating jewelry into modern fashion.
Yeah.
They inspired me to do the same with Middle Eastern fashion. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, there's a certain stigma that modesty is wrong and westernized, and that's it's not bad at all. I think it's just culture. But I grew up in the West, so I wear, you know, what I wear, you know, Western clothing, but I want to bring both together.
Yeah, because both are very important to who you are.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up here, so obviously I'm heavily influenced by everything that's around me, who I grew up around, and so, but I'm also really inspired by my family and what jewelry they wear, and I see what my people wear in the Middle East, and it inspires me. So I want to make my own style out of that. So mix the two together.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Darya. So like that was kind of you describing your style, talking about like the fusion.
Yeah.
So the jewelry pieces that you're wearing today, let's talk about them.
So I actually got all of these. We go to Turkey every year. So my mom is from Turkey, and we have a summer home there, and they have these things called pazars, or it's like in the English word bazaar. So they have it sometimes it depends on the day of the week. Sometimes it's on Tuesdays. And this is from the bazaar. And I was just walking, and there was a little kiosk with a lady, and she had this on a little hand mannequin, and I was like, I love that. That is so cool. I want to wear that every day. Like, I love it. So it's a little big, but it doesn't really matter. You can even put it on your foot if you wanted to. Yeah, I loved it. It's from Turkey. So, and this is also, these earrings are from the same lady. I got it from Turkey. And it has the signature of Sultan Süleyman on it from the Ottoman Empire. And this piece is actually a necklace that is from Turkmenistan, who are also Turkish people. And I got it from Turkey, and they wear similar. A lot of the traditional Turkish clothing has these necklaces. And I was like, that's so interesting. I've never seen that before, like in front of my eyes. They only see it in pictures. So I was like, I'm going to wear this and represent, and also they have this in the Middle East too. A lot of times Iraqi people will wear similar chokers and everything. So I was like, I'll sort of represent both. The eye makeup is a little bit more like, I think, Arab influence. You know, they say like Arabian eyeliner, you know? So, and you know me in high school, I wore it like every day. So yeah.
Yeah. So you also wear your gold evil eye bracelet?
Yes. I do.
Can you talk a little bit? Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
No, not at all. So this is actually it's nazar. It's called the nazar bonjuk, and they have it all throughout the Middle East. I think they have it in Greece too. But it's basically there's sort of a belief, I think, in South Asia and the Middle East in nazar. So it's that jealous people can see you and see how happy you are and become jealous of that and wish horrible things upon you. So this is to protect you from that.
Oh, good. So she's been protected as long as I've known her. She's been wearing that bracelet.
I know. I've had this forever. I always wear an evil eye, something. So yeah, I love it, and I actually see it now, like in stores and everything. But I think it's important for people to know the meaning behind it, because I think that makes it even more desirable to wear.
Yeah, it's hard, and plus it's hard to wear something and not know what it means, because then you just kind of look dumb. Like I wore a Pinky and the Brain T-shirt once, and somebody like I've watched Pinky and the Brain, but like not a lot. Yeah. And then somebody was like made this Pinky and the Brain reference, and I was like, ooh.
And you're like,
I was like, ah. Yeah. So bottom line, know what you're wearing. So yeah, it's like really good to have those like the background on those pieces.
Yes.
And thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Oh my gosh, of course.
You're the best.
I love you.
She's so cool. I'm so glad that you came and talked. It was so interesting to hear you talk, and I hope y'all agree. Y'all can click on the links in the description below for Darya, her Instagram, her Twitter. You can also find my Instagram, my Twitter, all that good stuff in the description below. So yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.